To begin our fall convocation, I ask you to stand as you're able to join me in a moment of silence to honor our fellow Americans who are serving in the armed forces and as health professionals and first responders on the front line in the fight against COVID-19. Now please join me in saluting the flag of our nation by reciting together the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Because of COVID-19 and the restrictions on indoor gatherings, we are limited today to a maximum of 25 individuals in the Performing Arts Center. Everyone gathered with me in the theater today is here to honor the recipient of this year's Llamadu Award, Dot Power, Chairman of the Middlesex County College Board of Trustees. We have with us, in addition to Mrs. Power, the following special guests: Middlesex County Field Director Ronald Rios, Mark Finkelstein, Vice Chair of the MCC Board of Trustees, Trustee Kyle Anderson, Trustee Bob Orris, Trustee Praful Raja, Trustee Bob Sika and his wife Dot, Trustee Gary Taffet, Middlesex County College Counsel John Hoffman, Professor Pat Payne, President of AFT Local 1940, and Dot's family and close friends. We thank you all for joining us today. My message for all of us is to think big, think ahead, and be bold. Before I share what I mean by that, I want to acknowledge how much our world has changed since we last met as a college community in January. For 6 years, I've had the pleasure of greeting all of you at the breakfast before convocation every fall and spring semester. This morning I missed shaking your hands and hearing about your summer. Although for those of you who tuned in before 9 a.m., you were treated to summer photos that were submitted by your colleagues. Right now I miss seeing all of your smiling faces here in the Performing Arts Center. While COVID has changed how we live and work for now, we will not allow it to limit us or define who we are. As a college community, we have kept our focus on our mission and will continue to do so. All of us have had to adapt. We are working harder than ever to find new ways to do our jobs and continue to do them well. We have learned and invented new ways to teach, new ways to serve students, and new ways to interact with one another. I have shared throughout the spring numerous examples of how we continue to triumph over the virus. I want to share just a few more examples from this summer. Our faculty have been gearing up for teaching online and remotely this fall. Faculty members in every department have been learning more about Canvas, Zoom, and other teaching technology and tools to ensure that we are engaging students who we are not physically with. The faculty members in the natural sciences worked with the media services team over the summer to make video recordings of demonstrations in the lab. Here are photos of Professors Tom Halasinski, Michaela Girish, Brian Levy, and Falguni Ghosh preparing videos for chemistry courses. Thanks to Professor Steve Rowley for sharing those photos. As we think ahead, it'll be interesting to see how some of these new teaching and learning techniques may be incorporated in the future into courses that are delivered either fully in person or in a hybrid delivery format. The e-learning dynamic duo of Mike Sullivan and Shannon Osborne-Jones have worked tirelessly with faculty to master the range of tools available in Canvas, as well as tools that integrate with Canvas, such as Zoom and Respondus. This fall, Mike and Shannon are supporting instructors in teaching over 900 sections of remote live courses and over 500 sections of fully online courses. Faculty are also sharing online teaching techniques with one another. For example, in the English department, Professors Alex Fields and Ray DeDemo shared their experience with full-time and adjunct colleagues. Our admissions and recruitment team have found new ways to recruit and engage with prospective students. In addition to a much-viewed virtual open house, the admissions staff have conducted scores of webinars and Zoom sessions focused on the application process, financial aid, and registration. Our staff also participated in virtual college fairs and virtual visits to high schools throughout Middlesex County. Staff from the registrar's office and the print shop distributed diplomas to over 500 graduates in person. The Division of Continuing Education moved much of its training and courses online. For example, Media Services assisted today's table instructor Holly Curry in moving her cooking demonstration courses online. In addition, through a waiver from the Office of the Secretary of Higher Education, we are offering in-person instruction for students enrolled in certification courses for certified nursing assistant, medical assisting, pharmacy technician, and phlebotomy. Under that same waiver, the dental hygiene faculty worked for 2 weeks with the last year's second-year students so they could finish all their requirements for graduation in August and prepare for the National ADEX clinical exam scheduled for September 16th. Department Chair Michelle Roman asked me to thank the facility staff who repurposed 3 of the old biology labs in Llamadu Hall to make it possible for the dental hygiene students to complete their spring course requirements in a socially distant manner. In the midst of these difficult economic times, we have redoubled our efforts to focus on addressing student need. For so many of our students, because of the impact of COVID-19, the need is greater than ever. As a community, we've responded to that need by thinking big with our hearts and wallets. The Middlesex County College Foundation established an emergency student fund to which many of us and our alumni have contributed. The foundation has raised nearly $40,000 to date to help students in need. Thanks to all for your continued generosity. O'Day Hoppy and the Student Life team distributed 150 Chromebooks to students who lack a computer at home. We have another 100 on order. Amanda Lyons, coordinator of our Basic Needs Center, distributed 148 bags of food to 74 students via drive-through pickups and delivered 36 bags of food to 12 students who were housebound due to lack of transportation or quarantine. In addition, we distributed over $12,000 in grocery gift cards. Nearly $3 million in CARES Act funds has been distributed as grants to nearly 1,700 students enrolled in the spring semester and summer session based on need. Another $700,000 is scheduled to be distributed this fall to the students. And there is more in the works. This fall, we are offering open computer labs here at the Edison campus and at the centers in New Brunswick and Perth Amboy for students who do not have reliable access to the internet at home. And the IT staff are working on setting up a Wi-Fi hotspot in one of the parking lots here in Edison. And we know what we are doing is helping students succeed because they tell us. Our 2020 valedictorian, Nirali Trivedi, had this to say about MCC professors who made a difference. Let's hear from Nirali.
I'm grateful to you all. I would like to thank all the faculties who imparted wisdom to me and nurtured my interest in science. Thank you, Dr. Virendra Kanwal, for being supportive from day one. Professors Janet Lynn Singer and Aaron Christensen, you inspired me to not only be passionate towards my studies, but to become an educated and disciplined learner. Thanks Dr. Falguni Ghosh and Dr. Brian Levy for mentoring and encouraging me. A special thanks to all my friends in the NCC community who made me appreciate the diversity that each of us brings onto the campus, and also taught me how to balance stressful jobs along with family and college lives with a smiling face. At last, thanks to all my classmates who survived my tantrums during the falling fetal pig dissection labs of Bio 2 and my exhaustion in long reflex labs of organic chem. Though the journey was difficult, I have to say it is memorable.
Speaking of success, Nirali presented 2 weeks ago with Professor Falguni Ghosh at the annual meeting of the American Chemical Society, which was conducted virtually this year. This is a national meeting attended by thousands of professionals. Their presentation will have a digital object identifier and will be citable as a scholarly publication. I also want to share with you something that Matt Luoni, a 2020 radiography graduate, wrote to me this summer. I met Matt in his first year as an MCC student and ran into him regularly at my favorite Starbucks on Route 1 in Edison. He was always at the same table studying. While I waited for my latte, I would ask Matt what he was working on and how he was doing. I learned a lot about Matt, his family, his ambitions, and how MCC was changing his life for the better. Matt sent me a note this summer after he graduated in which he praised the radiography program faculty and staff, Jim Farrell, Ellen Dyken, Kim Krapels, Patty Luck, Leonard Jones, and Denise Kriza. He had special praise for Professor Kim Krapels. Here is what Matt had to say. I wanted to let you know what a special teacher you have in Kim Krapels. She really pours her heart and soul into what she does every day. She takes you each step of the way through the program, from someone fresh off the streets to competent X-ray tech, not only in the technical aspects of it, but also the soft skills needed to be successful, even how to find and keep a job. I can honestly say she's the best teacher I've ever had in my 40 years of life. Matt, who is the father of 8-year-old twin boys, has been accepted into the radiation therapy program at Bergen Community College, which accepts only 7 to 10 students each year. He aspires to work with pediatric oncology patients. And we all know that the impact our faculty and staff have on students has been going on since the first days of the college. Donna Howell and Mike Ansonoff in Natural Sciences recently shared with me a letter that Professor Marge Prisgoda received from the father of a student she taught one summer in the early 1990s. I want to share a portion of that letter with you. Below is a link to the preprint of a research paper which our son, Matthew Mirsky, one of your summer course students in anatomy and physiology at MCC back around 1992 or 93, is a corresponding co-author. It came out a few days ago and is titled Prospective Prediction of Future SARS-CoV-2 Infections Using Empirical Data on a National Level to Gauge Responsive Effectiveness. It is a study based on data from 28 countries and is undergoing peer review now. Matthew has been working at the Biological and Chemical Research Center at the University of Warsaw, Poland for the past few years. His research interest has been structures and functions of proteins and enzymes. However, his focus, and that of many other scientists in the European Union, has been redirected in the past few months to the coronavirus problem. As an undergrad at Michigan State University, he received degrees in biochemistry and philosophy. He earned a PhD in biophysics from Johns Hopkins University and did postdoc work in pharmaceutical chemistry at the University of California, San Francisco. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you very much for teaching and inspiring Matthew. I'm sure that taking your course while he was in high school helped not only his knowledge, but also his confidence and interest in pursuing a career in scientific research. Signed, Bob Mirsky. Because of the inspiration of Marge, this young man is involved in scientific research addressing the coronavirus problem. I know that all faculty members receive notes from such students. I still hear from students I taught in the early 1980s. I invite you to share such testimonials with me. They remind us of why we do what we do. They also help tell our story as an institution. How we tell our story is at the heart of the development of our new marketing plan. Middlesex County has generously provided the college with the services of TopRight, the marketing firm that helped the county develop its marketing plan a few years ago. We've all seen evidence of that effective marketing campaign for the county, including TV spots and billboards. A core group of employees from across the college have been meeting with Michelle Campbell, staff members from TopRight, and me for the past few months. TopRight staff members conducted workshops and individual interviews with representatives of key stakeholder groups, including employees, current students, alumni, and community partners. Here are a few quotes from our alumni about the impact that Middlesex County College has had on their lives. Without MCC, I would have nothing. I would be working at a warehouse or as an Uber driver. Without MCC, I'd be under a mountain of crushing debt and in a really bad place. I was very lucky to have found a financial option that provided me with such an outstanding educational foundation. I would never have graduated from college if I had gone directly to a four-year college. MCC gave me a second chance to be the right kind of candidate for a four-year university. And MCC gave me a great educational foundation that I've been able to springboard from all the way to law school. We continue to make an impact on our community in part because of the amazing things our students do after they graduate from here. 2020 graduate Eddie Leva is a veteran of the United States Army who earned associate in science degrees in both biology and chemistry here at MCC. He was accepted at Stanford University, where he'll be pursuing a degree in bioengineering. And the graduates of our competitive health technology programs are already achieving success and making their mark. Several of our nursing graduates became registered nurses early under a special arrangement allowed by the State Board of Nursing this year for temporary licensure as RNs before taking the national exam, so they could go right to work to help to attend to the surge in patients in local hospitals. Here are photos of two of those students, Simon Mena and Emily Swenson, who participated in the drive-through acknowledgement of our 2020 nursing graduates and distribution of their nursing pins by our nursing faculty earlier this summer. To date, 34 of the 2020 nursing graduates have taken the NCLEX exam with a 94% pass rate on the first attempt. And 26 out of 27 of the 2020 radiography graduates passed the national credentialing exam on their first attempt. Impressive results, impressive students, impressive faculty. The virus has not slowed us down. Much has been going on this summer here at Middlesex County College. I want to share with you a few of the many exciting things that have been happening. After the announcement this spring that R.W.J. Barnabas will be building a world-class cancer institute in New Brunswick, thanks to connections made between the college and the Cancer Institute by the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, colleagues in academic affairs and I begun meeting with leaders from the Cancer Institute to explore ways the college can meet the needs of the institute and our students may have opportunities at the institute. Pictured here from a meeting on our Edison campus this summer are, from left to right, Nancy Berger, MCC Director of Nursing, Teresa O'Reilly, MCC Assistant Dean of Business, STEM, and Health Professions, Ned Latame, Associate Director for Research and Education Affairs at the Cancer Institute, Carolyn Hayes, Chief Nursing Officer at the Cancer Institute, Karen Visich, Director of Professional Practice Development at the Cancer Institute, Donna Howell, Acting Dean of Business, STEM, and Health Professions here at MCC, and that's Linda Scher, standing behind Dr. Hayes. We are thinking big. One exciting new opportunity in the works is the development of a nurse residency program. To be hired as a nurse at the Cancer Institute, an applicant must have a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and 2 years of experience in oncology nursing. A 2-year paid residency program would allow MCC nursing graduates to rotate through every department at the Cancer Institute over a period of 2 years while they earn their bachelor's degree in nursing, thus becoming eligible at the end of the program to be hired as a nurse at the Cancer Institute. The nursing program was reaccredited by the New Jersey Board of Nursing this summer for another 8 years, and the dental hygiene program was reaccredited this summer by the Commission on Dental Accreditation, or CODA, for another 7 years. CODA granted approval without reporting requirements, which means our program met all standards 100%. Kudos to the faculty and administration in those programs for maintaining standards of excellence that are recognized by national accrediting bodies. Professor Richard Thompson reported that once again the work of MCC gaming and animation students was on display at the annual SIGGRAPH conference, the premier international conference and exhibition in computer graphics and interactive techniques. This year the work of 17 different MCC students was featured at the conference, including art stills, character and vehicle design work, animations, game level design, and game spawn points. And for an explanation as to what game spawn points are, I ask you to consult Richard. Richard proudly noted that MCC student work was presented alongside work by students from Cal State, Carnegie Mellon, Drexel, NJIT, RIT, and the Savannah College of Art and Design. Such recognition is not only a testament to the talent of our students, but also to the education they receive from our amazing faculty like Richard. Angelo Abreu, along with other staff from our Perth Amboy Center, accompanied students in the Success Bound program to a Chalkathon event in Perth Amboy, sponsored by New Jersey Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez. This partnership between the City of Perth Amboy and MCC provides high school students with college readiness workshops, paid internship experiences, and our 3-credit Student Success course. The program encourages high school students from Perth Amboy to become engaged with their community and to consider higher education as part of their pathway to a better life. From the first cohort of Success-Bound students in summer 2019, 10 out of 24 of the high school seniors elected to attend MCC after they graduated. The program has been such a huge success that the Real Foundation is contributing $25,000 to cover the cost of the credit-bearing course in future years. The Library and Learning Center engaged colleagues with 3 series of events this summer: a book club, a coffee house, an open mic event, and my favorite, the Library Collatch, which is described as a discussion board for any MCC community member who wants to share what they are reading, watching, writing, and more. We spent the spring and early summer developing plans for how to return to campus safely, drawing guidance from the CDC, the state, and numerous other sources. Thanks to all who served on the Return to Campus Task Force, led by Don Drost, and the Academic Restart Planning Task Force led by Pat Payne and Linda Scher. Those plans inform the Restart Plan that the college submitted to the Office of the Secretary of Higher Education. Thanks also to the facilities management team who prepared offices, restrooms, and classrooms. MCC-branded face masks have been provided to every full-time employee. Thanks to Madeline Cataranicchio, pictured with me here, for ordering everything we need to keep everyone on campus safe. This colleague was the first to send me a selfie sporting the cool MCC face mask. Can you guess who it is? As you can see from the short list of summer achievements, we are thinking big and thinking ahead. COVID-19 has also had an impact on the state budget and therefore on our college budget. Because of the effects of the pandemic on state revenues, the state de-obligated 50% of funding to community colleges for the last 3 months of fiscal year 2019-2020 and offered only 50% of the standard level of funding for the first 3 months of fiscal year 2021. The legislature delayed the deadline for approval of a budget for the remainder of the current fiscal year until September 30th. So we should know by then what level of funding we can expect from the state for the full year. Fortunately, the county has always received strong and reliable funding from Middlesex County. In fact, the operating appropriations we received from the county increased this year. We thank Freeholder Director Rios and the entire Freeholder Board for their ongoing support of our college, our mission, and especially our students. We are also fortunate that several sources of CARES Act funds have been made available to the college for use in addressing costs directly related to the move to remote delivery of instruction because of COVID-19. Such funds will hopefully go a long way towards offsetting allowable expenses. Let me share an update with you on our fall enrollment. Since the pandemic forced high schools also to move to remote learning beginning in mid-March, this has been an extremely challenging year in which to recruit students. Nationally, most colleges and universities have seen a significant decline in enrollment for the fall. In particular, reports indicate that students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds have applied to college at significantly reduced rates from last year. That has been true here in Middlesex County as well. Without the in-person support of guidance counselors in high school and the high touch our admissions and recruitment staff offer both on our campus and at in-person events we traditionally hold throughout the spring, many high school seniors have simply not enrolled in college. While we are doing relatively well in enrolling returning students, our applications from new students is down 8% this year. From some school districts, the application rate is down double digits. For example, we received 36% fewer applications for New Brunswick high school graduates this year. As of Friday, our fall enrollment is down around 13% year to date compared to this time last year. Our admissions team has been very active in reaching out to prospective students at virtual events and via text and email. In addition, thanks again to the generosity of Middlesex County, the folks at Top Right developed an amazing ad campaign targeted at high school seniors who were originally planning to attend a four-year college or university this fall. Many of you reported that you've seen the television spots. For any of you who have not had that pleasure, we're going to show one now.
You had the plan: high school, grades, admissions, acceptance. You were ready to head off to your chosen university. Then 2020 happened. Now what? Start with close to home, affordable, and excellent. We have over 90 degree certificate programs, low student to faculty ratios, and deep experience with online teaching. Many top schools accept our graduates as juniors who often outperform their peers. In Middlesex County, you won't be putting off your education. You'll be accelerating it. Middlesex County College. Accelerate your education.
That commercial continues to run on all major outlets in the state, as well as on YouTube and Univision. Thanks again to the county and to Top Right. And thanks especially to Bill Fasig, Judy Friedman, and Natalie Ross at Top Right for developing this attention-grabbing campaign. As we have never asked new students whether they were previously accepted at another institution, we do not know for sure how many of our new students may have originally planned to attend a four-year college or university this year. Lisa Rodriguez-Gregory in Admissions and Recruitment has shared that many new students are self-identifying in that manner and that the number of visiting students has increased. We are still recruiting students, especially for the late start fall courses. Many of you may have seen the op-ed piece I submitted to the Star-Ledger that was published last week. I received numerous email messages from several parents asking for advice and more information. Thanks for continuing to remind your friends and neighbors about the opportunities our institution has to offer our community. And speaking of students, I want to continue to share with you data on key student outcomes. I shared this slide with you at the January 2020 Convocation. As you can see, while our overall IPEDS graduation rate is 23% and climbing, the graduation rate for some demographic groups is not at that level. We owe it to our students to do all we can to ensure that every student succeeds. What was once referred to as an achievement gap is now being called by many an equity gap. The shift in terminology places the onus on us to do something about that gap. Linda Scher will be talking with faculty about equity gaps at the Academic Affairs Convocation later this morning. I encourage academic departments to request data from Institutional Research and Assessment for your department's courses and programs. Delve deeply to determine where we are falling short. Which courses are students not passing? Who is not passing? What is the graduation rate for each program, and what can we do to help all students make it to the finish line? Where are the equity gaps, and how can we address them? Let's think ahead about how best to help every student achieve by innovating and developing new initiatives in an attempt to address lower pass rates and equity gaps. And working with our colleagues in student services, putting in place new and enhanced strategies for supporting our students on their way to success. As we look ahead, we notice it will be a busy year. It is the year when we will be visited by a site visit team from the Middlesex Commission on Higher Education, as part of the process every 8 years of being reviewed for reaccreditation by Middlesex. Thanks to everyone who served on one of the task forces associated with this process, the 3 co-chairs of the Middlesex Self-Study Steering Committee, Professor Jennifer Appleby, Megan Alai, and Linda Scher, spent much of the summer weaving together the draft reports from those task forces into one narrative. You will soon be invited to review a final draft of the self-study report and offer feedback. The self-study report is due to Middlesex in December, and the site team is scheduled to visit the college February 28th through March 3rd. We will also engage this fall in the development of a new strategic plan, and in the spring, in the development of a new 10-year master plan. In both those planning initiatives, as with the development of a new marketing plan, I encourage us to continue to think big. Watch for invitations to volunteer to participate in these initiatives. One new initiative I'm especially excited to launch this fall is our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiative. As I shared with the college community in June, after the death of George Floyd, I believe we are at a point as a nation and as a college community that we need to move beyond words into the realm of action. Isabel Wilkerson, author of the best-selling book The Warmth of Other Suns, and the first woman of African-American heritage to receive a Pulitzer Prize for journalism, recently published her latest book, Caste. I heard her interviewed on National Public Radio. In the interview, Ms. Wilkerson shared a powerful metaphor that brought home to me the responsibility of all Americans to address systemic racism in our society and institutions. She likened our duty as Americans to address systemic racism with the duty of homeowners to maintain their homes. As the purchasers or inheritors of a house, we did not build the house we now own. Nonetheless, if the house is not structurally sound or is in need of repair, it is our responsibility to address what is wrong with the house. We own the house. We need to fix it. We as Americans are the inheritors of this great nation of ours. It is up to us to root out systemic racism, to ensure that our society lives up to the American ideal of equality. In the next few weeks, I'll be sharing more information about the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiative and how everyone who's interested can get involved. I believe as educators, we have a particular opportunity and obligation to do what we can to dispel ignorance and hatred through education and to make our communities places where everyone is welcome and accorded respect and dignity. My hope is that we as individuals and as a college community will take stock of our campus culture and institutional practices and explore ways that we can learn to do better in understanding, respecting, and supporting one another. By engaging in honest discussion, we can take concrete steps to ensure that our college community is truly a welcoming and safe place for everyone. I look forward to engaging in this important work as a community. I want us to dream big. Together we can work to make our dream of a more inclusive community a reality. Several activities in the spirit of this initiative have already been planned for the coming year. Our faculty-driven Center for the Enrichment of Learning and Teaching is collaborating with other groups in our college community to coordinate a book club. The first book will be Ibram X. Kendi's How to Be an Anti-Racist. The Office of Student Life will be streaming Dr. Kendi's TED Talk as part of its weekly TED Talk Tuesday series on September 15th from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Small discussion groups will be formed after that event for all members of the college community to join, students and employees. And the groups plan to meet throughout the academic year. And the library staff has developed a LibGuide of anti-racism resources. And speaking of community, it is challenging to foster and sustain our community when we are unable to be together physically. I know how isolated I feel staring at a screen all day by myself. I urge us to continue to explore ways to support one another and maintain a sense of community. I invite your ideas about how best to do that. The Friday memo will return to its weekly schedule beginning this week. Please send me ideas for items to include: stories about students, alumni, and colleagues, stories of challenge, learning, and triumph, stories that speak to our determination, resilience, and spirit of innovation, collaboration, and community. Now I encourage us to be bold. While other colleges may be hunkering down and waiting out the virus, let's focus on new ways to increase our capacity, expand our market, and strengthen our brand. Those of us who spent time working in community colleges know there is a stigma. There are some who consider community college to be equivalent to the 13th grade or a last choice option. While we all know the high quality of the educational experiences we provide, that message is not fully penetrated into our community. Part of the work in the development of our new marketing plan is to bring our story of transformational educational experiences, like those alluded to in the quotes I shared from our amazing alumni, to the fore. One recommendation that emerged from the interviews that Top Right has conducted with alumni and community stakeholders is to consider changing our name, to consider dropping county from our name to become Middlesex College. While we are proud to be the college that serves the residents and businesses of Middlesex County, changing our name would be a bold statement about the value we bring. Two-year colleges in other states have already begun to drop community or county from their names as part of a rebrand, as you can see here. And right here in the Garden State, Gloucester County College has already transitioned to Rowan College of South Jersey. So here are a few examples again of how other colleges in other states have rebranded without the word community, county, or technical in their name. I spoke the other day with the president of one of these institutions. He shared with me a story that has stuck with me. He was in line at a convenience store wearing a sweatshirt with the new name of his institution. A father and son pair were in line behind him and remarked on the sweatshirt. "Do you work there?" they inquired. It turned out the son was a senior at a local high school and was planning to attend the college that fall. He said to the president, "You know, until you changed your name, I didn't want to go to the college. But now that you're a real college, I'm excited to be going." A real college. Sometimes perception is everything. The team from Top Right reported that our current students and alumni talked a lot about how MCC is a real college. Making the transition to Middlesex College might help change people's perception. Making such a change would also place our institution in the vanguard of two-year colleges and create buzz about Middlesex College. Our Board of Trustees will be considering such a name change at its next meeting. I invite you to share your thoughts on the matter by sending a message to marketing@middlesexcc.edu. I believe that such a rebrand will attract new students and prepare us to be recognized for offering more than associate degree programs if and hopefully when the state of New Jersey follows the lead of many other states in authorizing New Jersey's community colleges to offer Bachelor in Applied Science programs. I exhort us to continue being bold. We are community engaged in life-transforming work. Let's continue to think big, think ahead, and be bold in telling our story. That concludes my State of the College presentation. Before we present the Llamadu Award, it's my pleasure to acknowledge the award of promotion and academic rank to 3 faculty colleagues and introduce new full-time colleagues. I'm happy to announce that at the June board meeting, 3 faculty members were approved for promotion and academic rank to full professor: Susan Altman, Thomas Halasinski, and Lakshmi Nagarajan Iyer. Let's have a round of applause for Susan, Tom, and Lakshmi. Since our spring convocation in January, we've hired a number of new full-time faculty and staff. Please hold your applause until all new employees have been introduced. Stephen Alafazanos, Manager, Facilities Projects. Eddie Avila, Custodian. Konstantinos Barkas, Custodian. Madeline Catarnicchio, Director, Purchasing and Inventory. Urelis Figueroa, Marketing and Outreach Coordinator, Career Advance USA Grant. Omar Flats, Enrollment Services Assistant. Michaela Girish, Instructor, Chemistry. Angela Jupin, Director, Labor Relations. Lisa Kelly, Executive Director, MCC Foundation. Frank Maltino, Chief Financial Officer. Josiane Martinez, Instructor, Engineering. Paula Mendez, Student Development Specialist, EOF. John Miller, Program Manager, Career Advance USA Grant. Shannon Osborne Jones, Assistant Director, E-Learning. Diane Ratner, Instructor, Biology. Corey Romeo, Project Manager, IT. Kiara Sharp, Administrative Secretary, Library. Jeff Stovich, Library and Learning Assistant. And Eugenia Stoyanova, Financial Aid Administrator, Financial Aid. Let's have a round of applause for our new colleagues. And now we move to the presentation of the Page D. Llamadu Award for 2020. The chairman of our Board of Trustees usually presents the award to the recipient. Since this year's recipient is the chairman of our board, I now invite Vice Chair Mark Finkelstein and Freeholder Director Ron Rios, the recipient of the 2018 Llamadu Award, to join me on stage to present this year's award. I would like to invite Freeholder Director Rios to say a few words before the presentation of the award.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, it's nice to see everyone here, happy and healthy. I hope all of you are healthy and your families are healthy throughout this crisis. It's been challenging for all of us. Even though we can't attend this gathering together in person, I want to thank you all for watching. This year will be a challenging one for the college students, faculty, and staff. But as always, Middlesex County is here to offer its support and give all its residents access to education and enrichment. Furthermore, the college's invaluable faculty, staff, and trustees will be able to draw on their years of experience and innovation to create the right digital environment for our students and to keep them safe if they need to be on campus. One such valued member of the college community is the recipient of this year's Llamadu Award, Dot Power. The Llamadu Award is named for Paige Llamadu, the founding chair of the College Board of Trustees and a dedicated humanitarian. The college honors his legacy by presenting this award to a member of their community who also shows great dedication to service. As a former recipient in 2018, it is my great honor to present the 2020 honoree, Dot Power. Mrs. Power's long history with Middlesex County College makes her one of the most qualified people ever to receive this award. She has been a steadfast MCC trustee since 1998 and board chairman since 2007. I am especially honored to be part of Mrs. Powers receiving this award because of her history with the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. She served as freeholder from 1976 to 1990, including service as deputy director and chairman of the Committee on Education and Welfare. She served as clerk of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders from 1994 to 1997. She also served on the boards of many local organizations dedicated to serving the residents of our county. Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce, Middletown Chamber of Commerce, Piscataway Chamber of Commerce, New Jersey Association for Elected Women Officials, committeewoman on the Middlesex County Democratic Committee for 50 years. I hope you will all join me in giving our warm congratulations to former freeholder and honored chairman, Dot Power. Congratulations, Dot. In these challenging times, we can all learn from your many years of public service. I want to wish everyone at Middlesex County College a healthy, safe, and productive school year. Together we can help one another and navigate this time of transitions. No matter the challenge, we all remain part of the ongoing story and excellence of Middlesex County College. May God bless you all. May God bless America. Congratulations, Dot.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. I would echo your remarks by adding that Dot's deep understanding of local government and her connections throughout the county and beyond have informed her advocacy on behalf of Middlesex County College, which has resulted in tremendous and long-lasting impact. Those of us who work together with Dot to make Middlesex County College a place where everyone is welcome and lives are transformed know what an amazing and humble leader she is. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Middlesex County College, it now gives me great pleasure to present the 2020 Llamadu Award to Dorothy K. Power.
If you want to hear the story about the swimming pool, I'll see it over coffee. Good morning, and thank you, Dr. McCormick, for your kind introduction, and Freeholder Rios. And a virtual welcome back, students, professors, staff, trustees, freeholders, and guests. And thank you to my colleagues on the Board of Trustees for this prestigious award. I humbly accept this honor. So, how did I get from there to here? Well, actually, I was inspired by my husband and a few of his buddies to run for the District County Committeewoman position in Piscataway. That was 50-some years ago. Still going and going. I'm as energized and inspired today as I was more than 5 decades ago. From day one, I witnessed so many women who were and are giving back to the communities. I was inspired by women like Pat Sheehan. Patricia Q. Sheehan, mayor of the city of New Brunswick in the 1960s. She was, I believe, the first woman to serve in that capacity as mayor. and she served during the racial tensions in 1967, and at one point, she quelled the crowds as she stood on the steps of the City Hall in New Brunswick. I was inspired by Helen Hurd, Dean at Rutgers University, who joined in rallying women to create the Commission on the Status of Women. And Anita Voorhees, Dean of Continuing Ed, right here at MCC, who was instrumental in helping women enter meaningful jobs in the workplace. I took her course. Edith McAndrew was the first woman ever elected to the County Board of Chosen Freeholders. She was chairman of education, and it included the college and the VOTEC schools. Her board consisted of all men, so she also inherited the title chairman, not chair. Now, when I was growing up, the nuns in my school said that a chair is what you sit on. So the title chairman stuck with me. Mark Finkelstein, on the other hand, prefers the title chair, but he didn't know those nuns. While attending meetings on the Freeholder Board, I was fortunate to have the support of my boss at AT&T, who encouraged civic involvement and volunteerism, and a husband and family who supported me. So it was my good fortune to continue promoting and supporting the college when I was appointed by the freeholders to serve here as trustee and now as chairman. I love this job. And when I see students who were chosen by their graduating class to join our Board of Trustees and actively participate in our discussions, I can see firsthand that their training here has prepared them well for whatever they choose to pursue. A recent graduate, Pier Francesco Giovanni, regularly attended student events and came up with the idea of having a panel of recent alumni speak to current students about the life after MCC. Another student, a trustee, Sitwat Syed, was also an actively engaged student trustee. She attended the Association of Community College National Legislative Summit in Washington and represented the viewpoints of community college students in meetings with Senator Menendez and other members of the New Jersey congressional delegation. Kyler Deneen had a keen interest in promoting opportunities for those affected by autism. And there were so many more who were giving back. Receiving this award means a great deal to me. And if I can, if only in a small way, fulfill the meaning of what Page Llamadu has left in his path, then I am grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of his legacy. To my family, for being so supportive of my outside activities, and especially my husband, Ed, who encouraged me every step of the way. I thank my colleagues for this honor, and I thank you for sharing this day with me. Thank you. Do we have to wear a mask for a picture? That would be nice. That would be nice. Oh, my goodness. Is it this floor or just my steady feet?
Okay, mathematics. Okay, all right.
Good.
Like this?
Dottie, congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you.
That was a great speech.
Excuse me.
Great
Thank you.
speech.
Thank you. Okay.
We can leave that box over there. Thank you.
I need, is it the floor or my shoe never?
Thanks very much. That was a great speech. Once again, congratulations to Dot Power on receiving the award this year. One more round of applause. That concludes our college convocation. Just a reminder that the Academic Affairs Convocation will begin on Zoom at 10:30 a.m. and that activities scheduled by the Center for the Enrichment of Learning and Teaching, or CELT, continue throughout the week. Watch for emails. I wish everyone a successful fall semester. Thank you.